Good evening. My name is Haywood Parker, and I pastor Truth Tabernacle Ministries in Edgecombe County, and I serve as the chairperson for the Donnie's Partnership for Children. I want to express my concern regarding the cuts in the Smart Start budget. As the chair of the DPC, I have been blessed with the hopes that all of our children will be served equally. They will be given a quality opportunity to make a difference in their lives at an early age. And I know that with cuts in the Smart Start budget, the long-term impact and effect on our children will be seen in how our kids grow and develop into viable citizens with the capacity to think. Because when we invest into them early, we increase their capacity to think. Cuts in the budget that will negatively affect the quality of child care and early educational endeavors will manifest in long-term systemic problems that will show increase in a lack of performance in school. This will ultimately result in problematic outcomes of kids being ready for college, not being prepared for the workforce, and a lack of readiness to serve their civic duties, which ultimately increases crime in our communities. The sad element for me is a decrease in the budget will serve to perpetuate poverty in our community on a long-term basis. And we all know that poverty creates problems in and of itself. As a clergy person, I am concerned that we will have to pick up the weight in an inordinate kind of way. I'm not getting away from our moral and ethical duties to serve children, but I also want the whole community to do what they're supposed to do. And one way we do that is to keep monies where they belong to make a difference in our kids. I suggest that cutting the budget is not the best approach, but rather if we can find some way to increase revenues, it would be to our best advantage. Thank you.
Harrison. I'm here in several capacities. I'm very much in favor of maintaining the very best education we can give to our youngest children. It seems clear to me that what we don't fix in the beginning is going to have to be fixed later and will cost us a great deal more, both in heartache and in outright dollars. I've been a teacher for about 100 years. I'm a math professor. And I know very well that children who come in too large numbers cannot receive the attention that they deserve. I worry about the teachers in general. Look at what they've done to teachers. They've cut their salaries. They've taken away a step of longevity. They cut 0.5% out of one check. Now, teachers don't make that much money. I'm also here as the supervisor of family resource centers. We have one here at Willowford, we have one in Spring Hope, and we offer all sorts of services to families who need that help. We have a lot of parents who don't know how to be parents. They think you do what their mamas did. That doesn't always work. So we do a lot of parenting training to help parents to do a better job with their own children. We also offer kind of social services that other people offer as well, where we help old people just maybe to have a day out and something to do on a social basis with a network that supports them. So there are just lots of reasons why I am in favor of balancing the budget, not on the backs of children, not on the backs of old people, but shared. So it seems to me an increase in revenue is very much needed instead of total cuts. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Patricia Whitman. I come to you with very many different hats. I work with an organization to help build parents to advocate for children with disabilities. Also, I am very strongly in favor of early childhood. I hold 3 associate degrees, so I use that when I advocate for parents. I'm here to say that it starts young, and if we do not teach our children to fish, we cannot teach them how to eat. We need to teach them from the very beginning so they can grow up and to be citizens, to pay taxes, and to help us get out of this. If you cut those services down, what is the future going to hold? It's not going to balance. It's only going to be more negative. I'm also here to say, of a parent with disabilities, when you start looking at cutting those services, you do not know the effect that it can cause on other parents. I am a very strong parent, and I believe wholeheartedly cutting those services does not work. Thank you.
Before I call the next few people, I want to introduce Representative Angela Bryan and thank her so much for coming tonight. The budget negotiations in the House were long and hard today, and she came home to share with us and hear what you all had to say, so I think that's wonderful. Thank you. The next 3 speakers will be Dr. Evelyn Johnson, Joanne Everett, and Sylvia Cassandra. And I, but some people's names I'm not doing well with. It's both me and right.
Good evening. 37 of my years have been spent working in education, and it saddens me to know that although I live in a district in a county where we got a high illiteracy rate and we've got a high poverty rate, the number one to break that cycle must be education. I'm here as an advocate for education because that's what I know. Because back in the days, children used to come to school prepared and ready to learn. Something has happened. We must understand that the village is no longer like it used to be. It's time for us to turn the light on in the village because now we have to educate children, parents, and the whole community. Cutting budgets does not do it. Yes, I guess you might say, I'm on a fixed income too, by the way. So when I say increase, you know, something's got to be wrong with me if I say increase on fixed income. But I know the importance of education. It is very important because if we prepare the kids early, then we'll turn out good kids late. And we are in a global society. Our children are not competing with just the children right here in Edgecombe and Nash County. The world is wide open. Your President of the United States is showing us now that we no longer live right here. We must have programs like Smart Start, More at 4, those providing in the communities that provide the services that these children need so that we can make sure that we are turning out productive citizens who can reverse the poverty, who can reverse the illiteracy, and we can begin to get people to come to our community to set up factories, industries. We've got to come together, folks. If you don't do anything else, we must send a message, and I'm so glad to see Representative Brown. She's working hard. But we got to get everybody else working hard like that. Everybody else has got to realize that you can't ask for more and take away. If you're asking our teachers to do more, you got to give them more to work with because teachers are human too. I just advocate for education because education is what made me what I am today. I came from a farmhouse that said I should not have been anybody, but look where I am. I went to the top of my game in the schoolhouse. Let's give every child the opportunity to grow up and become, in his dream or her dream, what every child wants to be, somebody. Thank you.